burning question.
Hello and welcome viewers, I am Aishwarya Kapoor and you're watching The Burning Question. But before The Burning Question, here are the headlines first. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tears into India alliance, questions their silence over Nitish Kumar's filthy comments. Sloganeering, ruckus and complete uproar in Bihar Assembly over Nitish Kumar's misogynistic and filthy speech. Nitish Kumar, forced to apologize for vulgar speech, tries to justify remarks with a bizarre defense. Massive controversy over IIT Bombay's Pro-Hamas lecture. Demand grows for a crackdown on pro-terror elements across the country. Cash for query scandal explodes. BJP Member of Parliament Nishikant Dubey claims CBI inquiry ordered by the Lokpal. Ahead of Ram Mandir inauguration, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath cabinet to hold meeting in Ayodhya tomorrow itself. Mega proposals to be taken up by Baba. Israel says time is running out to evacuate Gaza City. G7 pushes for a pause in Israel-Hamas war, while Israel makes it clear no pause. Welcome viewers. And as you just heard on our headlines, the way sexist, misogynistic, deplorable the vocabulary will fall short on the kind of remarks which were made by the Chief Minister of Bihar, Nitish Kumar, yesterday. But what is more frustrating is the kind of defense which is coming out from not only JDU, but also the RJD. Yes, I'm talking about Lalu Prasad Yadav's party, Tejasvi Yadav, who's the Deputy Chief Minister and was present in the assembly while those comments were being made. And let there be no doubt, it was not a mistake. Mistake happens once, not twice. Always remember this. Yes, Nitish Kumar has come out and has sort of apologized, saying that अगर मेरी बात से किसी को hurt हुआ है, कोई आहत हुआ कोई, is the half the population of this country. Nitish Kumar, you attacked yesterday by your comments when you reduced the women of this country to an object of sexual release, to a point where you went ahead, Mr. Chief Minister, and said that because she is educated, she knows what to do when, in your perverted sense, and only because those comments were being made in the Vidhan Sabha and in the Vidhan Parishad. Viewers, mind it, that there is no case and there cannot be filed because it was said inside the assembly on the floor of the House by the Chief Minister. Imagine, just imagine, even half of such vulgar vocabulary being used by any other individual across the country. Across the country, just imagine what would have happened to that individual. And Nitish Kumar feels, and his party, and Tejasvi Yadav feels, whom I personally thought that he will stand against this. That just by saying sorry, and that also a half-hearted sorry, he comes out and says, अगर मेरी बोलने से कोई आहत हुआ है, अगर Mr. Chief Minister, अगर BJP is going all out. Politics Political parties will say, but I am saying this is not about politics. This is not about politics. Nigat Abbas, Vineet Goenka, Rahul Dev, Professor Subodh Mehta, this is not about politics. This is only, and I repeat, Nigat, is about the honor of our women. And it's very clear the way they are trying to defend it even now, Nigat, that they don't respect. Just because women for them is not a vote bank. This is the same Nitish Kumar, which is the caste census. This is the same Nitish Kumar who was known as Sushasan Babu. Look where he stands now. Nigat, I come to you first, ma'am.
Aishwarya, the crude, the vulgar, the bizarre remarks made by the Chief Minister of Bihar, Mr. Nitish Kumar, has not only shocked me but the entire nation today. It is something which I could have never imagined, and it is not about any political party but the respect, the honor, the safety of the entire Indian women's community. It is so bad that I can't even express my words, and I'm sure that you can't even run in your story what he has to say. And on the top of it, the way he was gesticulating his hands and the gestures, and Tejasvi Yadav had to encouragingly laugh on it. And also Nitish Kumar was looking around at the assemblymen and expecting them to laugh at his own assumed smartness. Now I wonder, the 29 female member of legislative assemblies who were present there, how unsafe would they be feeling? Because Nitish Kumar had to say this in the assembly where everyone was available, present, could hear it loud. I wonder that how he would be behaving behind the gates, the closed doors in his political office, in his party, and in the places where they conduct meetings. It is about the safety of the women who are being ruled under his government today.
I understand.
Because not as a
I really feel bad for the people of Bihar right now.
Today. Aishwarya, this has shocked.
No, I understand that, Nigat.
Yes.
You are speaking as...
I completely...
No, I understand. I understand, and I am really unable to understand Professor Subodh Mehta.
Right.
Please. Please. Yes. 30, ma'am. Boliye. Carry on.
What I want to say today, thank you, Aishwarya. Today I'm not speaking as a spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party. I am speaking like a woman, and this shivers me, and I'm still shivering while I've heard the story and I've heard the words he had to use. It shocks me also, and I feel so uncomfortable. I'm wondering the people would be watching the television tonight, the children of school, the girls of school and the girls of college. What kind of an impact a chief minister leaves behind? Because I, not as a political person, when I look at it as a political person to Nitish Kumar, I might have the ideological differences, but there is a lot of respect. A lot of people from the opposition leaders, also from my party, had due respect for this man. But today he has lost everything. Because if this is what a chief minister can look like, I'm sorry, we don't need men like him. Because this is what encourages monsters and rapists to rape a girl, and then if a chief minister can say, then what is the problem if we are doing it? It shocks me. I don't have words. I'm speechless. And it horrifies me to feel that we have a chief minister.
I understand your frustration. I understand your anger. I am able to understand. I am able to understand your emotions right now, Nigat, and you are right that you are not speaking just as a spokesperson of the BJP, but as Bharat ki Mahila, as a woman of India. Subodh Mehta, please explain, Professor, how do you intend to defend this? How? How, Professor?
Aishwarya, look, Honorable Chief Minister was referring to the replacement value and the fertility rate of Bihar. And they have controlled it through educational means and through...
Sorry, can you please repeat, Professor? Can you please repeat that, Professor? Professor, can you please repeat that? No, Professor, can you please repeat? What was the Honorable Chief Minister doing, and what was honorable in reducing the women of this country to an object of sexual frustration? Please explain, Professor. Please explain to the people of this country tonight, please. Yes.
Let me explain.
Please.
Honorable Chief Minister was referring to the replacement value and the fertility rate of Bihar, how it was controlled through educational means and through promotional means. In the process of doing so, he said certain words which were factually analyzed by few of us, which we are debating. Honorable Chief Minister categorically has accepted those words. If someone has heard by those words which I have spelled in the house, I have taken my words and I feel sorry for myself. Honorable Chief Minister has very categorically accepted it and he is feeling sorry for it. First of all. Second thing is that what...
So he's sorry enough?
Those
Professor is sorry enough?
What the larger essence which he was talking about, he was referring to the enormous
what
work
essence
done by the government of Bihar
what essence?
empowering the women. This is
what essence?
On the other hand,
what essence? I'm sorry, Professor. Professor Subodh Mehta. Professor Subodh Mehta. Professor Subodh Mehta. You want me? I can play the audio and I will play it without the beep. You know what he said? जिससे ब्याह होता है ना? No. Please, you are forcing me. Professor,
I have heard that.
You don't defend the indefensible. He has done the biggest wrong and he is not fit to be the chief minister anymore. He is not fit to be in public life, and I don't mean physically or mentally. I mean because of his thought process, because of what he feels about the women of this country, Vineet Goenka. And I am very clear. Sorry is not enough. No, I am sorry, but sorry is not enough, Vineet. Professor, I am sorry, but sorry is not enough. No, Vineet, sorry is not enough. Vineet, it is time for Nitish Kumar to go. The comment he has made on the women of this country. Yes, Vineet, you may. Please carry on.
And has said that
Professor, calm down. Thank you very much.
Viewers who are watching me right now.
Professor.
In Sanskrit, there is a shlok.
Yes, Vineet.
Yatra narate pujante ramante devata. Yatrastu na pujante. Sarvastra phala kriya. What does it mean is if you worship, if you respect a woman, the area will become a temple. It will be like gods around you. But the moment you insult her, you will face the wrath. You will not be living long. Number one. Number two, I see two distinct leaders in this country. One, Honorable Modi ji. He brings in triple talaq to protect Muslim girls. He brings in women reservation so that there will be a voice to the women. On the other side, we see Nitish Kumar objecting, making objectification of women, insulting the modesty of women, and the way he has talked. I think sharam bhi sharamshar ho gayi hogi kal. There is a Hindi saying, Aishwarya ji, maar ki maar keval kuch din ke liye rehti hai, lekin baat ki maar bahut din tak rehti hai. When you hit somebody, the pain of that, being hit remains there for some time. But when you speak, it remains there for a long time. I have one question for Tejasvi ji, the Honorable Minister of Bihar. Will he be able to watch this video along with Ma Rabdi, along with Sister Misa, along with his daughter, and along with the family members? How insulting, disgusting it is. And let me make one more point before you go to the other panelists. Since 10th March 1990, there are only 3 chief ministers whom you have seen there in Bihar, barring Majiji's 270 days. 32 years and 25 days to be precise. 32 years, 25 days to be precise. Nitishji for 17 years, 70 days. Rabriji 7 years, 190 days. And Laluji 14 years, 7 years, 130 days. In all together, 32 years they are ruling. And they have made Bihar a place of...
Vineet. The Prime Minister today, and I have also Rahul Dev joining in, Negat Abbas, the Prime Minister today, made it very clear that it's not about politics, but it tells us about the thought process, about what they think about women. Just because viewers, women are not a vote bank for them, according to them. They can say whatever they want. They can belittle. They can make them जिसे कहते हैं हंसी का पात्र विनीत गोयनका. He was making those comments in the Vidhan Sabha, Professor, and in the Vidhan Parishad, and the ministers and his MLAs were laughing while there were female MLAs and MLC in the house. In the house. They came out, Nigat, crying.
Members of the house.
We spoke to a few of them. They were shivering. They didn't know. And they all said, Nigat, they all said that we used to respect Nitish. Some of them even said that we worked with Nitish. He was never like this. But what has happened to him? What is this? What is this? He cannot be there in public life anymore. And the irony is that the India Alliance is backing him.
Right.
Nigat.
Imagine. I am speechless, and it is absolutely right that, you know, we have so many leaders in the opposition right now in India Alliance, and at that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, who hasn't spoken a word against it. I mean, do you think this is justifiable? Do you think this is something you can be quiet on and think this can just pass? It won't pass. For God's sake, he's the chief minister. And like you said, a lot of people had a huge respect about him, no matter if they came from different ideology and a different political party. Today, you know, Aishwarya, we live in a very cultured society. India is known for its culture, for its soft culture, their respect for the women. We worship women. Kanya Pujan hota hai, Aishwarya, hamare yahan. Ashtami, Navami, jab Ram Navami hoti hai, Kanya Pujan, we touch their feet. I mean, I don't know how Nitish Kumar would be going back home and looking at himself in the mirror today and what he would have to say if someone from his family...
Absolutely, Nigat, but the irony is that these India Alliance leaders, right from Sonia Gandhi to Priyanka Gandhi to Dimple Yadav, across party lines are all quiet. Why Rahul Dev? Senior journalist Rahul Dev is also joining in. Why?
Matches their ideology.
Why are they quiet? Why can't they come out and say that it was wrong? It cannot be defended. Why are they quiet? Why are they like finger on your lips type situation? Why are they quiet? Why? Rahul Dev.
Last our conversation an hour ago, I also said that if not for anything else but to send a signal to the women of this country, every single major political leader of every party should condemn this statement and say sorry. But I also must remind you that having said these words, Nitish Kumar, the very next day, that is today, in the very same house, has expressed abject apology, or tendered apology.
Rahul Devji, you're wrong here.
And hold on. Can I finish?
Hold on, Vineet. Hold on, Vineet. Vineet, hold on. Vineet, hold on. Vineet, hold on. Vineet, I'll come to you. Vineet, hold on. Vineet, do not overlap. Vineet, do not overlap. And Nigat, hold on. Hold on, one at a time. Thank you very much. Yes, Rahul Dev, please complete.
I'll speak only if I'm not interrupted, because I don't interrupt. And this is the basic civility that any conversation must have. So,
please carry on, sir.
Talking about civility.
I've condemned it in complete unconditionally in the last conversation we had on this very issue.
Hold, Vineet.
He has also expressed his apology and his sorry. He's accepted his mistake. He has said, I feel ashamed. We are all ashamed. But I repeat, my view of what he said was his words and the manner in which he said them were utterly wrong, indefensible. There can be no defense whatsoever. But his intention was to stress on the effect of women's education on fertility rate and birth rate of Bihar, which has come down from 4.3% to 2.9%, as I understand. But again, his manner was wrong. I don't know what happened to him. He lost his mind for a while or so, whatever happened. But we must make this distinction between what his intention was and his intention. His political career is before all of us. He has never uttered such words and derogatory remarks about...
Yes, and that is why there is a concern.
Ever.
That is why there is that concern.
And that is why I say...
What is happening? What is happening, Rahul Dev?
That's why I said in the beginning...
Coming, Nigat, hold on.
Seconds.
Hold on, please. Can I finish, please?
Hold on, Nigat. I have given you time. Hold on. Yeah, please.
My first sentence to you was that if for nothing else, every party leader of all parties in the country must condemn this.
Yes.
to send a message
Yes.
to Indian women.
Yes. And I really hope Sonia Gandhi is listening to you. The Congress party, the SP, Dimple Yadav is listening to you. Because they should. Yes, Vineet Goenka, now you may please speak.
See,
A minute to
Rahulji,
you and a
with all respect
minute to
we
Nigat
have been
coming. Yeah.
watching you since
Vineet.
childhood. Rahulji, we have been watching you since childhood. I never expected you to take side of Nitishji. This is condemnable act. He did it deliberately, sir. He did it in both the houses. See, once it can be mistake. When you do it in two houses, you know what you're doing. And sir, he's a seasoned person. 17 years, longest serving chief minister of Bihar. 17 years he was leading Bihar. So he knew what he's talking, sir. And please tell me, will you be able to watch that particular video with your family, sir? How absurd, how absurd. And let me give you one figure, sir. Sheikhs are the upper caste Muslims in Bihar. 25.84% of Sheikh families are poor there because of the misgovernance of this person. Misgovernance, 32 years and 25 days in precise, both the families have been ruling there. But what do you see? People migrate out of Bihar. Talented people don't want to stay there. We have maximum number of IAS, IRS, bankers, software engineers, doctors coming from Bihar. None want to go back.
I understand. His development model was being spoken. I can talk about the politics later, Vineet. Vineet, the political part, the politics of Nitish Kumar, the caste politics, all of that can be spoken about. But I am just specifically asking Nigat, that is sorry enough? Is saying sorry enough in this regard? Nigat Abbas.
He should resign.
Not at all. Not at all, Ishwarya.
Okay,
like Mr. Rahul had said, that it is for the first time Nitish had said something like this. My friend, every rapist has a first time, and this, my friend, is a virtual rape. The way he was expressing the gestures with his fingers, his hands, it was a virtual rape to every Indian woman today, and I say it with full responsibility. And he was smirking. He was beaming, looking at his co-colleagues and expecting them to laugh and encourage him with what he was saying. This is not funny. This is beyond politics. This is inhuman. You cannot be a chief minister and then virtually rape a woman from a place which is so sacred, Ishwarya. How can you justify that? Sorry.
And that is the only reason, because he was in Vidhan Sabha, Nigat, that there cannot be any case filed on him.
Post and then say you're sorry.
Such comment being made by any other individual at any other public place, there would have been cases, Professor Subodh Kumar, Professor Subodh Mehta, and you know. And the kind of tweet which has come out from your party's handle, that is also very alarming, Subodh. Last 30 seconds to you. Professor, are you still trying to defend him? Professor.
BJP spokesperson is having a two rod. One rod is directing towards Nitish Kumar and the other rod should have been directed towards Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He was hiding behind the curtain when Manipur crisis was there. He was hiding behind the curtain when Hathras incident happened. He was hiding behind
Ishwarya, I am not letting him speak about this right now. You cannot try and hide with what you said today.
Absolutely wrong.
Do not try to defeat the topic. What Nitish Kumar has done, it is unjustifiable, it is inexplainable. He has to not sit.
Okay, I will only say this. Nigat, Vineet, Subodh.
He was talking about the
Vineet, Nigat, Subodh, Professor, I will only, you want to discuss Manipur? Professor Subodh, you wanted to discuss Manipur? Let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion on Manipur. But I'll just tell you this, Professor. As Rahul Dev said, every political party and every political leader of any consequence in this country today should understand and should come out against the statement which was made by the Chief Minister of Nitish Kumar. The only point where I differ with Rahul Dev is this, that sorry is not enough. That's where I differ with you. Thank you so much for all of you. That's the time I have on Burning Point. Thank you.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
बंद करो कान बंद करो कभी भी फट सकता हूँ पटाखा जो लग रहा हूँ दिवाली है तैयार होकर आइए
In the India Today Best Universities 2023 survey, released recently, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School, Bengaluru.
जब भरोसे की हो बैकिंग तो निवेश का हर फैसला बन जाता है बुलंद। इसीलिए हम खड़े हैं हर निवेश के लिए, हर निवेशक के साथ। SBI Securities.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
इसको तो फुटबॉल खेलना भी आ गया और इसे तो पियानो बजाने भी आ गया।
चंद्रयान भी उतर गया चांद पर हमें अब तक टेस्टी राजमा बनाना नहीं आया।
बिना MDH राजमा मसाला के टेस्टी राजमा कैसे बनेगा?
स्वादिष्ट राजमा के लिए MDH राजमा मसाला।
क्या स्वादिष्ट राजमा बनाए?
MDH.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
लेकिन हमने तो एकदम सॉलिड TMT बार लगाया है।
मतलब लुंगटा स्टील TMT बार, जंग से न माने हार और मजबूती बेशुमार। लुंगटा स्टील TMT बार है बिल्कुल रेडी।
दुनिया के नक्शे से हिंदुस्तान का वजूद ही मिटा दूंगा मैं। वादा करता हूं टाइगर।
जब तक टाइगर मरा नहीं तब तक टाइगर हारा नहीं।
The boldly stylish and comfortable Honda Elevate. You're the chase.
First time दाल?
या
No pin?
छोटी सी पेमेंट्स के लिए पिन नहीं लगता।
मेरा छोटा सा नुस्खा।
लेकिन दाल तड़का के लिए दाल लगती है।
मेरा छोटा सा नुस्खा।
No pin for small payments on PhonePe UPI Lite.
New Hawkins Tri-Ply Pressure Cooker. Spices don't stick. Food doesn't burn. New Hawkins Stainless Steel.
जब एक दिया जलता है पूरा घर रोशन हो जाता है। सोचिए जब आस्था के दीप जगमगाएंगे और प्रभु श्री राम के अयोध्या आगमन का उत्सव मनाएंगे तो कैसा अलौकिक दृश्य होगा जो अपने आप में एक कीर्तिमान होगा और पूरी राम नगरी डूब जाएगी दिव्य अलौकिक दीपोत्सव की जगमगाहट में। आप भी सपरिवार इस विश्व कीर्तिमान का हिस्सा बने और अपनी अयोध्या नगरी को विश्व मानचित्र पर आने का उत्सव मनाइए।
भव्य दीपोत्सव उत्सव त्योहार है, ज्योतिर्मय तेज है, ये रोशनी की धार है, पाप पर प्रहार है, सच की जीत की हुंकार है, दिए से दिया जलाए, राम राज सरकार है, राम
11 नवंबर सरयू घाट पर आइए और प्रभु श्री राम की महिमा गुनगुनाइए।
Sarah, this is your space.
Play it your way.
65 इंच 4K।
प्राइस तो देख। तू इस बार भी नहीं लेगा ना? लूंगा ना अगली दिवाली।
अपने मन की विश को मत टालो। SBI कार्ड के फेस्टिव EMI ऑफर्स के साथ जो मन चाहे ले डालो।
सुबह की प्यारी सी धूप और खिलखिलाता आंगन, दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और प्यार से बनाए खाने की सुगंध। मैं सबके साथ हूँ, सबकी जुबान पर हूँ, सबके स्वाद में हूँ। MDH गरम मसाला, असली मसालों से भरा हूँ मैं।
MDH गरम मसाला, क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
टिप चाहिए? पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
Trending burning question, powered by Reva University and Century Ply Club Prime, co-powered by Hyundai Motors.
Hello and welcome. You're watching the Trending Burning Question with me, Shavansan. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the Trending Burning Question, we'll also cut across to the live report coming in from Israel, where my colleague Gursimran is essentially getting us a report of the Hamas weapons that have been recovered by the Israel Defense Forces. This at a time when the IDF has essentially started with their operations right in the heart of Gaza City. Remember, they've been able to identify the tunnels from where Hamas has been launching the attack on Israel. It turns out that over a long period of time, Hamas was actually stocking up these weapons. What was the nature of these weapons and how exactly was the supply being made? All that and much more. Let me also quickly bring in my colleague Gursimran, who's going to join us on this broadcast while he takes us through those latest visuals that have been accessed by Republic TV and a ground report giving us a sense of the kind of weapons that were actually being used. Let's go full frame with Gursimran, who's joining us live from central Israel. Gursimran, first give us a sense from where you are broadcasting. What is the nature of the weapons that have been seized by the Israel Defense Forces? And what is it that they have to say with regards to where exactly were these weapons coming from?
Shavan, hundreds of AK rifles, thousands of launchers and tens of thousands of bullets along with the other armory. This is what has been recovered by the Israel Defense Forces from the terrorists of Hamas. And these rocket launchers, these were used to target the innocent civilians in the South Israel on 7th of October. And as we speak from the central, one of the bases of the IDF in the central Israel, these all are on the display. I'll request Vijay Surendra Rawat to keep showing you the visuals of the recovery that has been made. This is the RPG-7 rocket launchers. Hundreds of such launchers have been recovered by the Israel Defense Forces. Apart from that, anti-aircraft rockets have also been recovered by the Israel Defense Forces along with the RPG-29 rockets. So this is all that the Israel Defense Forces have recovered from the possession of Hamas terrorists, those who have been neutralized. So not only these launchers, but they were also carrying these anti-aircraft SA-7 rockets. So this shows that they were even prepared, that if there is an attempt to thwart the terror attack by the terrorists of Hamas, they will even fire at the aircrafts that will engage them. That is, they had a full-fledged plan. Also, they were carrying out these Pika and the machine guns along with them, and huge amount of artillery, the rounds that they have recovered. So this is the Kalashnikovs that have been recovered, and also the Dragunov snipers. Not only the Kalashnikovs, but also the snipers that they were carrying with them, because the snipers were deployed on the rooftops as well by the terrorists of Hamas. These are the hundreds of AK series rifles that have been recovered, Shavan. And as we move forward, I'll request Rawatji to come this way. They were also carrying these daggers with them. They were carrying these landmines with them, and also the detonators. These are the RPG-7 dual warhead that have been made in Gaza, and also the weapons, Shavan, that have been made in Russia and North Korea too have been recovered. This is the RPG-7 rocket that is made in Russia, has been recovered from the terrorists of Hamas. And this is a live rocket, Shavan. This is the RPG-7 anti-personnel rocket that is made in North Korea, has now been recovered from the terrorists of Hamas. All these weapons that are on display here, these are the powerful weapons to destroy or to decimate any of the infrastructure, major infrastructure, and they have been made in the North Korea, Russia, and also some in Gaza. Apart from that, what the forces have recovered is the medical kits that they were carrying with them. All the terrorists, those who have been killed, they were carrying the bulletproof jackets along with the medical kits, which had almost everything in case of any contingency, if they need any kind of assistance, be it the medical or any other support. They have been carrying everything along with them. Also, these are the claymore mines that have been recovered from these terrorists. So they had plans that how they will execute things on the ground. This is what their exact plan was, Shavan. Apart from that, I'll request Vijay Surendra Rawat to come this way so that we can show you some of the vehicles that these terrorists of Hamas use to come in the territory of Israel and then to carry out the targeting of the civilians of Israel. And also we are joined by the spokesperson of the Israel Defense Forces, who will be sharing some more details with us. We have seen the huge arms and ammunition that have been recovered. And this is just the tip of the iceberg that we have seen. Many more recoveries have been made inside Gaza as well. How do you see this kind of a war stores that they were carrying along with them?
So we saw the huge amount, as you said, of ammunition and armored and armor-piercing rockets and rockets. This is not a fight that was created for just a few hours. That's a fight that was supposed to last. They fought civilians, they fought inside houses, they fought inside our villages, and this is the massacre that was created using these types of weapons, as we see here.
We are also witnessing that some of the weapons have been made in the Russia and also the North Korea. So was this only a standalone incident, or there have been major recoveries when it comes to these kind of anti-personnel rockets and the mines?
We have many of those. It's a specific part that we can say that came from Russia. For example, the RPG-7s are created either in Russia itself or Soviet Union's countries. This is very common. And on specific rockets, we can state that, for example, the rockets, the RPG-7 rockets, the gray one comes from North Korea. The rightmost one, the green one, comes from Russia, the dual anti-armor rocket. And the light one in the middle is created inside Gaza from explosive material that they either import or produce themselves.
So Shavan, you can understand that this one is the Israel-made. This is still a live rocket that has been recovered by the Israel Defense Forces. This was made by the terrorists of Hamas themselves inside the Gaza, and this one is the Russian-made, probably Soviet Union that has made this one. They also managed, the terrorists of Hamas also managed to get this. And the third one is, this one is from the North Korea. That is has been recovered by the Israel Defense Forces, and also the hundreds of the RPG-7 rocket launchers that have been recovered, along with the anti-aircraft SS-7 rockets. So these are the recoveries. RPG-29s too have been recovered by the Israel Defense Forces. So everything that probably a terror group can carry for a war against a country, that was what the terrorists of Hamas were carrying inside the Gaza, and the message was very loud and clear by the terrorists of Hamas that they were carrying everything so that they can kill as many people as they can. And also the anti-aircraft carrier clearly shows that these terrorists, they were planning that if the Israel Air Force also comes into being, they come to rescue their citizens, they will also bring down their aircrafts as well. So this was the extent of the minute planning that the terrorists of Hamas have done, and these recoveries, the hundreds of thousands of AKs, hundreds of the rocket launchers and the Dragunov snipers, along with the ammunition, thousands, and even we are told that lakhs and lakhs of these ammunitions, including the magazines, have been recovered. Some of the trained snipers were sent specially to get onto the rooftop so that they can secure the area. This was the plan of the terrorists of Hamas. They were not to leave back after carrying an attack, but they were.
Well, that was my colleague Gursimran getting us the latest update from the IDF base. What you see right now on your screens, recoveries that have been made by the Israel Defense Forces after entering Gaza. Remember, this is the weaponry that has been used by Hamas. In fact, remember, as my colleague has been pointing out, planning that has been going on for several months put together, and they've also been they've managed to stockpile their weapons over a long period of time, which only goes on to indicate the kind of weaponry that they have been able to use. And remember, the plan essentially was to carry on with the war for a longer period of time so that they could carry on attacking the Israeli Defense Forces with the stockpile that they've had. Question is whether at all this was actually supplied by Iran or not. One allegation that has been leveled by Israel is that the support that has been received by Hamas has essentially been coming in from Iran. Well, that was the report coming in from Tel Aviv, from the IDF base. Shifting focus now to what's really happening in our country. Israel, while has entered the heart of Gaza City last evening, where intense ground operations essentially continue, Israeli military has also warned that the time is running out to evacuate Gaza. On the other hand, we've essentially looked at how the G7 has been pushing for a pause in the war. While all of this is essentially happening, here in India, yet another attempt has been made by the lobbyists where they want to perhaps give that stage to pro-Hamas supporters. First, it was in the state of Kerala. Now, this has happened inside a campus in Mumbai, that too at the prestigious IIT Bombay. However, speaking to officials in IIT Bombay, they've distanced themselves from this theatre, from the movie screening that was actually taking place inside the campus. In fact, joining us on this trending burning question tonight are Vinay Joshi of the Legal Right Observative. We also have Omkar Mahadev Supekar, he's an IIT Bombay student, and Atikur Rahman, Islamic scholar, who's joining us on this broadcast. First, I would like to go across to Omkar Mahadev, a student who had actually objected to that screening that was actually taking place. While, remember, as per the guidelines of IIT Bombay, anything to do with the political in nature should not have essentially been screened. Omkar, first, for the benefit of our viewers, tell us, what did you witness? You also seem to have had an argument with the professor there. What is it that she had to say?
Yes, thank you so much for having me, and good evening to all the viewers and giving me this opportunity to speak the truth and all the facts. Am I audible enough?
Yes.
No, am I audible?
I'm not too sure. There seems to be some problem with your video line.
Can you hear me?
Well, Omkar, we seem to be having some problem with your video line. We'll try and sort that out. But before we come back to you, while we try and fix your audio as well as video line, let me go across to Vinay Joshi. Vinay Joshi has also been tracking this very closely. Vinay Joshi, as the professor was basically hinting that, look here, he's a renowned filmmaker, and you know, one should actually be able to perhaps put across their views on this entire matter. And this was about Palestine. This was not about Hamas. How would you essentially respond to the fact that there appears to be this entire mix-up of Hamas and Palestine? And the very fact that India has been very clear about its position.
Always vitiating political atmosphere on campus, and it has nothing to do with the technological research or technological education. So we were repeatedly demanding to higher education ministry to immediately shut down these HSS departments, because all HSS departments acting within the campus of Indian Institute of Technologies all over the world, all over the India, are creating the atmosphere of political divide, hatred against indigenous people and incumbent governments. They have nothing to do with technological innovation, research or educational field, and they actively participated in anti-CAA protest. They took hardline stand against all Hindu groups and organizations and indigenous culture, and they are not mistakenly mixing up Hamas and Palestine issue. They are deliberately mixing up the issue so as to create the confusion about terrorism and persecution. So we urge central government to immediately hand over the probe of IIT event to National Investigation Agency, the premium investigating agency in India, which investigates matters related to terrorism, because those professors involved in the arrangement and organization of latest event in IIT have direct contact with Hamas terror organization, their sympathizer network, their HR management machinery active all over the globe. And this is not simple issue that when Honorable Vice President of India was attending a program, Honorable Minister Dharmendra Pradhan was attending a program in IIT, same time, same location, they eulogized, they applauded, fight back of Hamas, so-called fight back of Hamas against Israeli forces. Israeli defense forces are fighting tooth and nail against the terror infrastructure
Let me just, okay, Vinay.
rapidly grown within the Gaza Strip. They are hunting down the hostages. And at the same time, premium technological institute like IIT and few elements of IIT are arranging the program to create an alibi for slaughtered they committed on Israeli soil on 7th of October. They slaughtered infants, they slaughtered elder citizens. They abducted,
there is a
they
slight
kept them
difference here.
hostage.
Vinay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Vinay, the thing is that, they are essentially arguing, at least simply going by the video, I think so Omkar would be in a much better position to help us understand, because the professor concerned, at least from that alleged video, she is essentially saying that, look here, he is a renowned filmmaker, Omkar. If I'm not wrong, you were the same person who argued with the professor. What is it that you raised in terms of a concern? Because she is saying that this is not about Hamas. This is about Palestine, and the very fact that this movie or whatever screening was about to happen, this was largely about Palestine and what they've been calling the struggle, which the freedom struggle that they've been talking about, which of course he basically narrates that need not be a non-violent one. Almost every freedom struggle have had some violent aspect to it. I want to understand from you, Omkar, you were present, you were the student who argued with the professor. What really transpired?
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Am I audible?
Yes, Omkar, go ahead.
Yes, so actually there was an event which was organized parallelly by Professor Sharimshta Shah, who is a professor in the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences at IIT Bombay. And this event was happening when the Honorable Vice President of India was interacting with the students and faculties at IIT Bombay campus. And the event organized by Professor Shah was, it was under the pretext of a course which she conducts, that is HS 835, that is Performance Theory and Praxis. And under the pretext of that course, she invited Mr. Sudhanva Deshpande, who was about to give the introduction to the documentary which would have been screened there. And I also was one of the participants who went there to, listen what was this course about and what this documentary is about. And to my surprise, I was quite silent for first 10 minutes when Mr. Deshpande was giving his, introductory speech. And I got worried when he, accepted that in 2015, it was the first time that he got an opportunity to go to Palestine, and he has been there twice. And he also accepted that he has met one of the militant whose name is Zakaria Zubedi. And as you can see from various records and from various resources, that who was this Mr., I cannot call him Mr., but he was a militant, Zakaria Zubedi. So Zakaria Zubedi, was involved in 2002 Bet Shean attack, which killed, at least 6 civilians. And in his speech, Mr. Deshpande later on said that, I just, in verbatim quote him, that I was struck by what an incredible vision this man had. That is Zakaria Zubedi, who is a militant fighter and who has taken part in military army. And then he calls him, who is a legendary fighter of Palestine and also one of the main characters in the film that we will be seeing. So these kind of statements Mr. Deshpande made in front of the students in such an academic, institution, which is quite, surprising. And apart from this, he also continued, he also quoted another militant whose name is Ghassan Kanafani, and how, Kanafani justified the tactics of violence and using the armed rebellion to seek the independence or the freedom movement. And he said that in order to have liberation, we need guns. We have to fight the occupation. It has to be an armed struggle. Though he has said that it should happen parallel with the peaceful movement, nevertheless it all sounded as if he's justifying the armed rebellion which is happening there right now. So I wonder that why IIT Bombay professors need this kind of pretexts, that they have to make this kind of statements which will brainwash the youngsters. The IIT Bombay students have come in the campus to study and seek their education. They have come from very grassroots levels. Their parents have struggled hard to make their dream true by sending their kids to the IIT Bombay. On the other hand, this kind of professors coming from the Department of Humanities, Social Sciences, and there's another department, which is Akansh Desai Center for Policy Studies. So these professors, keep organizing these kind of events where students can be influenced through some of these courses. And, it is unending thing. I'm very much worried about what kind of academic atmosphere, is being polluted by this kind of, deliberate attempts to brainwash and to influence the students by
That was
giving one-sided
Omkar.
narratives.
Omkar, we seem to have lost your audio line. Okay.
Can you
Omkar,
speak?
thank
Can
you
you
very
hear me
much
now?
for at least telling us exactly what really happened. Yeah. Omkar, I'll just get one quick word from Atikur Rahman. He's an Islamic scholar. Atikur Rahman, you've heard both Vinay Joshi as well as Omkar. Now, the question here is that not about the curriculum per se, which Omkar seems to have also referred to. But the fact of the matter is that in the guise of academic, progress here, you're basically talking about, you're basically trying to introduce a thought line, a thought process that perhaps seems to be romanticizing with terror. You're talking about the Hamas, which has been exposed. You may constantly talk about the fact, why is Hamas not being designated as a terror group, etc., etc. But the fact of the matter is that we've seen what really happened on 7th of October, and no one has a doubt in their mind. And if that same thought process is perhaps eulogized in campuses in India, then it certainly becomes far more dangerous.
Shravan, point number one is Omkar, I respect his views, but he is a student. He is not a faculty who sets the curriculum. And you are giving a very wide platform to only one side of the story. Is Omkar ready to have a debate with Professor Deshpande on your forum? Then we will have a complete objective view what exactly Professor Deshpande needs to say. Secondly, how can a student decide an objective view, a historical perspective which is held by a very seasoned professor? Mind you, the faculty, the professors, they have an in-depth knowledge of the affairs, whether it is Israel, Palestine, Hamas or anything. So students are not bound to create a ruckus. They need to question the professors if they are having any doubts. And nobody will be supporting terror, for God's sake. But I request you, Shravan, that this platform should be given to both objective point of view, whether it is of the student or the professor. And under no circumstances, terror should be given a free ground, a free hand. We are supporting Palestinian cause, not Hamas.
So let me get a...
That's point one, which should be very much clear
you are largely,
to everybody, Shravan.
Okay. Atikur Rahman, you're largely talking about the academic... You're largely talking about the academic rigor of it. Vinay Joshi and Omkar, a quick point from each one of you. Vinay, you've heard what Atikur Rahman is saying, that as far as when it comes to academic rigor, one would bring in multiple aspects, and especially at this stage in their life. Is it absolutely wrong to say that, if students are basically exposed to this kind of a thought process too, they would actually be able to understand for themselves? It is very different than what we saw in Malappuram. You can't equate what happened in Malappuram to what's happening at IIT Bombay. I think so that equation perhaps it may not be correct.
Absolutely.
Vinay. First Vinay and then Omkar. Vinay, can you hear me? Vinay, Omkar, if you can hear me first, why don't you take that part first?
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Omkar, you've heard what Atikur Rahman had to say, and then perhaps Vinay can also come in.
Yes, so actually, I quite, disagree with what Mr. Atikur Rahman said, that about what are my credentials and am I eligible to speak about what is happening, in the IIT Bombay campus, and what Mr. Deshpande has said. I just want to ask him a question back, that does he support militants like Zakaria Zubedi, who has accepted that he has killed 6 civilians? What would be his response? And should the students of IIT Bombay or any other universities be told that people like Zakaria Zubedi who are killing innocent civilians are legends? That is the question that I want to ask him. And second thing, I guess he needs to look at the facts that we are living in a democratic country, and Mahatma Gandhi is our idol. We respect Mahatma Gandhi and his principle of no
Omkar, unfortunately, I'm really running short of time. Okay. Omkar, I'm really sorry. We are running short of time. Atikur Rahman, I would have given you the opportunity. Okay, Omkar, make a quick point, because Omkar, I'm really running short of time.
Yes. Thank you for the 10 seconds. See, India is the country of Buddha, Gandhi, and many noble people. Okay, so violence cannot be an idol for all of us to worship. Only the peaceful and non-violent movement should be the way. That's why Mr. Deshpande's justification or glorification of Zakir Zubaydi is absolutely wrong, and it should not be taught in the academic places. And this point should be understood by Mr. The esteemed panelist who was talking about me just 1 minute back. He has to understand that point.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, unfortunately, Atikur, I'm really sorry I don't have the time to allow you for a response. But thank you very much, Atikur Rahman. We'll perhaps take this forward later on. Vinay Joshi and Omkar Mahadev for joining us on the Trending Burning Question. On the other side, the big debate with Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami.
Trending Burning Question, powered by Reva University and Century Ply Club Prime, co-powered by Hyundai Motors.
Hello,
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
Powered by Reva University, a social impact multidisciplinary university. Century Ply Club Prime, Raho Befikar. Co-powered by Hyundai, it is safe if it's 6.
बंद करो कान बंद करो कभी भी फट सकता हूँ पटाखा जो लग रहा हूँ दिवाली है तैयार होकर आइए
In the India Today Best Universities 2023 survey, released recently, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School Bengaluru.
65 इंच 4K प्राइस तो देख तू इस बार भी नहीं लेगा ना लूंगा ना अगली दिवाली
अपने मन की विश को मत टालो। SBI कार्ड के फेस्टिव EMI ऑफर्स के साथ जो मन चाहे ले डालो।
MDH की देगी
मिर्च का तड़का अंग अंग फड़का
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
इस दिवाली सब दिखेंगे फ्रेश, सब करेंगे ग्लो।
जब सोप पे बाय 2 गेट 1 फ्री मिलेगा। आ गया स्मार्ट बाजार फेस्टिवल सेल 1 से 15 नवंबर।
फेस्टिवल को बेस्टिवल बनाइए, स्मार्ट बाजार चलिए।
जब मां सरयू के घाटों को दिव्य दीपमालाओं से सजाया जाए, वो दीपोत्सव है। दीपों की असंख्य ज्योतियां जब अवधपुरी सजाए, वो दीपोत्सव है। जब श्री राम की जय जयकार से संपूर्ण अयोध्या धाम गूंजित हो उठे और हर मन मंत्रमुग्ध हो जाए, वो दीपोत्सव है। 2017 से शुरू हुआ दीपोत्सव हर साल एक नया कीर्तिमान गढ़ रहा है। विकास पथ पर अग्रसर योगी सरकार जहां एक तरफ अयोध्या को आधुनिक बना रही है, वहीं दूसरी तरफ सनातन परंपराओं को संजोने का कार्य कर रही है। दिव्य दीपोत्सव से दैदीप्यमान है श्री राम जन्मभूमि। विकास के प्रकाश से प्रकाशमान है श्री राम जन्मभूमि। आइए आस्था के असंख्य दीपों से सुसज्जित इस दीपोत्सव के साक्षी बने और प्रभु श्री राम का अभिनंदन करें।
श्री राम को नमन है, श्री राम का वंदन है।
दुनिया के नक्शे से हिंदुस्तान का वजूद ही मिटा दूंगा मैं। वादा करता हूं टाइगर।
जब तक टाइगर मरा नहीं तब तक टाइगर हारा नहीं।
Hey, this delivery came for you. I paid for it.
Thanks. Oh, मेरे पास तो दूसरा ऐप है।
You can pay from any app to phone pay.
370, right?
280.
280.
Oh, caramel custard. Sorry, yaar.
तुम सिविल लाइंस जाना, तुम MG रोड, समझ गए?
जी सर।
वाह मामू, मिठाइयों की डिलीवरी चल रही है, सीआईडी की प्लानिंग।
डिलीवरी नहीं बेटा, सब अलग अलग बैंक जा रहे हैं।
ऐसा क्यों? एयू करंट अकाउंट पे सब मिलता है। मामू सोच बदलो और बैंक भी। एयू स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक, बदलाव हमसे है।
मुझसा है, रंग भरा एक किस्सा है, तू वो यार है, तू ही त्योहार है।
हर कार में है त्योहार। मारुति सुजुकी अरीना, फाइंड योर मैच।